Welcome to Live Your Best Midlife. I'm your host, Jill Lewis. Join me for inspiring pep talks and expert interviews as we explore staying active, feeling great, and embracing midlife adventures. Whether you're an empty nester, a pickleball enthusiast, or just ready to rediscover your vibrant self, this podcast is for you. Let's make our mid-years our best years. Now, on to the show. Welcome back to Live Your Best Midlife. This is your host, Jill Lewis, and I'm so pumped you are here with me hanging out. It's knee deep into January. And if you're in the Midwest or the North or the Northeast, Northwest, I hope your winter is going okay so far. In Southwest Florida, this weekend where I am recording this episode, it's been a little dip in the temperature, which cracks me up because my friend Shannon and I were playing pickleball this morning. We were like the only two people out there. She's from Wisconsin, I'm from Illinois, and we were just like, it's not that bad. But you can tell the snowbirds want to be where it is warm. So if you have a cool morning, I think it got into the 40s. Yeah, there's not a lot of activity going on outside. The gym was empty. Like everybody was hibernating. Anyway, I will say though, we've had the best weather since I've been a snowbird this December and January. It's been absolutely incredible. I've been getting so much activity and it's been just, I don't know, feel blessed, put it that way. Feel blessed. If you haven't booked a trip, I highly recommend it. My husband and I, we did like a tour to Florida back, I guess that was when my daughter was either a senior in high school or maybe she had just started college. Can't remember. Anyway, and I looked around to see what we liked, what were our preferences. And I just highly recommend that if you're in that season of what's the next phase of life and you've been thinking about being a snowbird, like just start touring places. It's fun. It really is. Anyway, but that's not what I'm talking to you about today. Today I'm doing an update episode about the glow up in midlife. I've done an episode on this before. I'll link it in the show notes because I think it was a really good one. But I want to talk today about the 10 things that I'm currently doing in 2026 to continue the midlife glow up. We have been sold this idea that a glow up means a complete makeover, new body, new wardrobe, new life. But you know, what I really have learned in this season that a real second act glow up doesn't come from extremes. It comes from just small things that you do every day. And this is what it looks like for me right now. No perfection, no pressure, just habits that really do make me feel stronger, calmer, and I guess more like my old self. So here we go. We'll start with one, and that is going to sound so boring, but it is sleep. It is sleep and consistent mornings. So my bedtime routine, I'm really leaning hard into in by 10. I am loving two of my kids for Christmas went in together and got me the Hatch alarm clock, HATCH. I talked about it on my favorite things, what I got for Christmas this year episode. My goodness, I don't know what it is about it, but the Hatch, the way that it wakes me up is so nice. It starts to glow. The actual alarm clock starts to glow, and it does that a couple minutes before the noise starts. And you can pick what sound you want to wake you up, and it's not a beep, awful sound. I actually really enjoy it. I feel like it just makes my morning just softer. It just feels better. It still wakes me up. The brightness wakes me up. So wild. Anyway, I'm loving having that routine. And I think having that set time at night is really key for me. I guess I can't understate how much your mood, your hunger, and your motivation are tied to sleep. Okay. Until you actually start protecting sleep, you will never know the difference that it makes. And we all want to feel more human and wake up rested. So that is number one, sleep. This is the second one for me is this Bible in a Year podcast that I'm listening to. So I've tried it before. When I turned 50, I was like, I'm going to read the Bible cover to cover. And I started doing it and I got in a habit and then I don't know what happened. I didn't have a good routine for it. And I have decided I went ahead and I have a Bible back in Illinois, but I don't have one down in Florida. So I ordered one and I am following along. This is the Catholic Bible in a Year podcast. There's lots of different Bible in a Year programs that you can join, but this one is led by Father Mike Schmidt. So if you are Catholic or even if you're not, it's so good. It's so good. Father Mike Schmidt is like a national treasure. Love him. And I love having the Bible there. I read along. It's not in the way that they do it, it's not cover to cover. He does it in a way that makes the Bible so much more easy to understand. So deep into Old Testament right now, really loving it. It lasts 20 to 25 minutes. So he's reading from the Bible. I'm following along in my Bible. And then he'll give so that might be 10 to 15 minutes of it. And then the last 10 minutes is him explaining what we just went through. I'm, 2.5 weeks in. I am loving it. So good. So what I'm doing is I'm starting my day with this. This is the first thing I do. Before I look at my phone, I have to look at my phone to turn the podcast on. But before I get into any kind of social media, doom scrolling, turn on the news, anything, this is what I do. I go into the kitchen, I make my cup of coffee, I get my water, I sit down on the sofa, I get my Bible out. I have enough lighting where I can read and follow along, but it's not like crazy bright. This is by myself. And I have to say, starting my day in scripture instead of the news has completely changed the tone of my mornings. It feels so much, I guess it's like grounding instead of feeling anxious and annoyed and all the things. So that has been my second one I'm doing. I'm loving so far. The third one is I am recommitting to gluten-free. Man, holidays really can throw you off, and you start thinking to yourself, like, oh, does it really make that big of a difference? And then you start realizing, like, yeah, it does. Now, definitely the sugar added to it, but bloating and my digestion, I feel just so much better when I do gluten-free. I feel lighter. Like I said, the digestion is better, less bloated. And this isn't, I know I'm not going to fall off a cliff if I have some gluten, but it was just sneaking in more than I realized. And my body feels better when I'm giving it really good whole food nutrition. And I want the foods that I eat to work well with my body, not against it. And I have so many clients that go gluten free that are just blown away by it. Their skin, their joints, their headaches, that so many things improve. For some people, not everybody, but about half of my clients that I've worked with over the years report back major improvements with inflammation by going gluten free. So it's something to think about for you. Again, I'm just giving you what I'm doing, the 10 things that I'm really focused on right now and I'm loving. So recommitting to that gluten free. By the way, Matt Damon, the actor, he's in the news a lot right now because I think he and Ben Affleck have a movie coming out or something on Netflix. But he was talking about getting ready for, I think in the summer, he's got like a big blockbuster movie coming out and he had to get ripped, like really jacked and lose, I guess just really lean out. And the number one thing he said he did, he went gluten free. I thought that was really cool to hear this from some A-list actor that how well that worked for him. And he said he's continued on. I'm even drinking gluten-free beer. He was like, don't ever want to go back. Pretty incredible. Here's the thing about gluten-free. When you do it right, nobody knows. Nobody knows. I cook all the time. We like to entertain. I don't tell anybody that that it's gluten-free anymore. Anytime I have a party and people are like, is that gluten-free, Jill? I was like, I'll just go, oh no, no, it's not. Because there's certain people in my life that like to make fun of me about it. And I'm always go, I'm sorry, but I know what tastes good and that tastes freaking good. And so now I don't even let them know because like a dessert or something, a baked good, because I've gotten it down to a science. The key really on that gluten-free, by the way, side note, you got to get the 1-to-1. So either the King Arthur or the Bob's Red Mill gluten-free 1-to-1 powder flour, the best. Make sure it says that 1-to-1 ratio. Okay. Just don't ask questions. Just follow my lead on this one. I don't mess around with almond flour, rice flour, cassava flour. That's going to totally change the texture for you. Everything I bake it with gluten-free flour. If any recipe calls for flour, I just use the gluten-free 1-to-1 flour. Boom, done. And obviously like pasta, things like that. It's just something I've gotten used to over the years. But anyway, something for you to think about. Okay, number 4, I mentioned it just briefly, but I want to be really intentional about sugar. My Starbucks every fall, addiction starts to not take over, but it just gets a little out of hand. I love their pumpkin spice. I love it so much. Like, I really do. And even if I'm just getting, I really don't crave Starbucks at all until the stupid pumpkin spice comes out. And because none of their other flavorings, I don't really like them. I don't like all of the syrups, but I do love the pumpkin spice. And when I get it, I'll get like, so say if I get a venti coconut milk latte with 1 pump of pumpkin and 1 pump of sugar-free vanilla, or there's all different variations. I never get just a pumpkin spice latte as is because that would be a sugar bomb. But even it's like the more sugar that you creeps into your life, the more you become addicted to it without even realizing it. So through the holidays, they have all of the yummy creamers that are in the grocery store. So I've really cut back now that the holidays are over. It's like we're done with the Starbucks runs. I'm done with the creamers and the syrups. I am just back to plain old, just a couple drops of stevia in my coffee. I am committed to not doing the margaritas and the lemon drops. I'm not saying never, but just I'm cutting it back, put it that way. And the dessert shift. I love to bake. I was baking out the wazoo through December, and that is now over. So what am I doing instead? Dark chocolate. I'm talking like really dark chocolate, like the high percentages. Lots of berries, like strawberries, and maybe doing some cocoa whip with that. Oh, so good. My yogurt bowls, if you follow me on Instagram, I've talked about that so many times. I love doing yogurt with my protein powder that I get, my prime protein powder. I'll link that up because it's so good. So good. Tastes like dessert. And then I'll sprinkle just a little bit of granola, just enough to give you that texture. And then I will do overnight oats. They are fantastic, again, with that same protein powder. And I love protein smoothies. That's enough. If I put a half of a frozen banana, mix it into my protein smoothie, and with my protein powder, it tastes like dessert. So good. So I love sweet things. I just don't want them coming from places that, are going to take over my cravings again. I want my taste buds to not be used to having sugar. When I do have sugar, that is, whoa. My Vicky Eyewear progressive readers are seriously the best I've ever owned. The quality is next level. They're sturdy. The lenses are crystal clear. I love that part. And there are so many styles to choose from. I used to feel just kind of old and boring pulling out my readers, but now I just feel stylish and cute. If you've been wanting readers that actually feel high-end, check the link in today's show notes to vickyeyewear.com, and you can use the code JILL20, that's JILL20, for 20% off your next order at vickyeyewear.com. Okay, number 5. I am doing more movement that I actually love. Now, I have talked about this one before, so this is more of a continuation, but pickleball, golf, working on mobility, just really enjoying all of the activities in this empty nest phase. So when I'm back in Marion, going to a hot yoga class is so fun for me. I really actually enjoy that. I don't count it as like a part of my normal workout routine, but I just think it's super fun. It feels so good. I've raised my kids. My job, thankfully, is so flexible. And I guess I'm calling this my selfish phase, and I'm totally enjoying it. Go back to my play episode I just did. It was just last week's episode on the joy that you find in playtime as an adult. And we get so bogged down in all things serious. It's really important that we find movement from things that we love. There's nothing about a treadmill that seems enjoyable to me. Now, walking outside in the sun, yes, I love that. Same thing like with pickleball. Like that to me is so fun. Riding my bike, fun. Riding on a stationary bike, not fun. So the kind of movement that I'm doing, I'm just choosing to do stuff that I really, truly enjoy. Now, I mentioned mobility, flexibility a minute ago with the hot yoga. This is something I'm really being intentional about because I do think as we age, this is important. And finding ways to do some mobility in my workouts is really key. So after I do a lifting session, giving myself 3 to 5 minutes of doing a quick yoga flow. So what does that mean? Like stretching up, folding forward, holding in that just a deep forward fold with my arms crossed over my head, and then going into a downward dog where I'm pedaling out my feet. And then maybe taking in that downward dog, taking one hand to the opposite ankle and then switching that up, and then going into deep lunges and then a lunge with a twist, taking the opposite arm up in the air, things like that, dropping a knee, just twisting into it, getting into, oh my gosh, I used to teach this stuff and now I can't even remember, but getting into just so many great little poses and not just holding static stretches, but just really moving around, deep squats. During my workout, you will not be surprised to see me dropping into a really deep squat in between sets because my hips really need that. When it comes to pickleball, before I play, you will see me doing squats, body weight squats, literally before I'm on the court or when I'm on the court, I'm doing body weight squats and then twisting. I'm doing some lunges in each direction, forward, side, diagonal, back. Maybe I'm doing some leg swings. So I'm doing dynamic. Those are called dynamic stretches. And then after pickleball, I'm going to give myself a couple of minutes to just do some what's called static stretching, which you're holding stretches for 10 to 15 seconds each, stretching my quads, stretching my glutes, my hamstrings. Things like that make a huge difference. Just not running out to the golf course and just hopping in the cart and playing, but going to the driving range and starting with a gap wedge and then working my way up to a driver so that I am warm. So I'm not trying to just be fit, but I really am trying to stay young in my joints. And I think that's so key when it comes to staying young in your second act. Speaking of staying young in your second act, this is number 7. Okay. I got to work on this one, but I'm trying. Skincare and sun protection. You guys, I am outside. Everything I love to do is outside. And I'm ridiculously tan right now. I'm not even saying this to brag. It's just, and the tan lines aren't good. If you saw my stomach and the upper thighs, you would start laughing. My back has that complete outline of my like sports bra tank tops. It is not cute. My feet are so white. Everything else on me is brown as a biscuit. So tan. And I do wear sunscreen. I'm really good about my face and neck, and I try to keep reapplying to my chest. And I worry about my shoulders and things, but it's the reapplication that I got to get better at. So I will put sunscreen on as you're playing pickleball. If it's hot, you're sweating, and you need to reapply. If you're out playing golf, you're out there for 4 to 5 hours, you've got to reapply. And my problem is I don't enjoy the spray sunscreen. I can't stand that stuff. It makes me feel like I have saran wrap. Like as soon as I spray it, I feel like my body has saran wrap on. But I also don't want to look like a leather bag by the time I'm 60, and I'm fearful that's what's going to happen. And so I am recommitted to sunscreen and reapplying. Now, what I love is the Super Goop brand. They have the unseen sunscreen. I think it's like SPF 40. I wish it was more than that, but they have it in a tube. It feels so light and great. But if I reapply with that when I'm playing, then my hands are really slick and I don't like that feeling. Can't hold a golf club, can't really hold your pickleball paddle. So they have what looks like a deodorant stick almost, and I've been using that and I've been reapplying that on my arms and legs and things. So when I get back to Illinois, I do think this spring, summer, because although the problem for me is that there's not a time of the year that unless I guess it's May, that I might be inside a lot. In May, it could be still a little bit cool and rainy in Southern Illinois. So maybe that's the time I need to schedule some treatments that I'm not going to be out in the sun because I definitely am into doing some more treatments for myself. You know what I mean? And I don't really know. I need to do some investigation onto what kinds. I don't really want to, I don't think I need to do have you seen those CO2 lasers, like the crazy CO2 lasers where they do their entire face and their face just blows up like a balloon? And then, of course, like a month later, it looks fine, but I don't think I want to do that yet. But there are some things that I do want to try. And I have a couple of dark spots on outside of my cheeks. Oh, speaking of that, I'm doing better, like wearing like a large hat That's a big one. I do have a couple of, it's a kind of a hat visor combo with a wider brim. I love wearing baseball caps, but I need something that's full coverage. Anyway, that is next on my list because no one's glowing up looking like a leather bag. Am I right? Okay. Number 8, I am really into my schedule. I have right here my calendar, my paper calendar. It's very important to me. I need to see it in writing in paper. Obviously, I have the calendar on my phone as well, but scheduling what matters is what I'm into right now. If it's not on my schedule, it doesn't happen. So for me, scheduling my workouts, writing in for the week, what workout I'm doing what day. What days am I playing pickleball? When are we going to church that weekend? When am I doing my client trainings? When am I going to play 9 holes with my husband? What am I cooking that week? What nights are we eating at home? What nights are we going out? If it's not on my calendar, it literally doesn't happen. And planning is how I really protect the life that I want. And it doesn't have to be so rigid. I'm flexible enough. Like I like to live in the moment and fly by the seat of my pants. So I'm cool with if I had something planned, like a recipe planned for a Wednesday night, but we get a call from some friends that they want to go out, we will go out. Like I'm not that rigid. But in general, things are really scheduled out for me because that makes my life so much better. What day am I going to go run errands? When am I going to go see my mom? When are we going to go to dinner? When are we going to go to brunch? Things like that. Like it has to get scheduled or it ain't happening for me. So I think that is, life is going by so fast. I don't want to miss anything. And I think that's the key. So when you look at it that way, you're like, yeah, I'm getting that schedule out. Number 9, protein and real meals. So I feel so much better already, 2.5 weeks into January, that I'm back to eating my real food. Some of the recipes that I have been giving out this month are so good. I just made a soup. So be looking on Instagram for this. I just made this super healthy recipe. It's so good. It's like a white bean chicken soup. I've never made a soup more healthy and delicious. Anyway, eating real meals, less grazing, really tracking my protein so that I continue to grow muscle. I have fewer crashes. It's not about dieting. It's truly just about fueling a body that I want to keep strong. And number 10, walking every day. So just ties it all together for me. Getting outside and that movement, obviously I'm playing pickleball, obviously I'm playing golf, and I track my steps, but just having a dog certainly does help. But just getting a short walk in, I don't go out and walk for an hour, but I may go walk for 15 minutes in the morning and then I may go walk 15 minutes in the afternoon. It's awesome. And I listen to podcasts. I feel like it definitely helps after you eat, especially. It's a great time. Helps with your blood sugar regulation. It's a de-stressor. It's great for digestion. It's just good for everything. And again, it's a great time to talk on the phone. It's a great time to listen to podcasts. And walking is truly my reset button. So that's it. A second act glow up. It's not about trying to become somebody completely new. It's just finally taking care of the woman that you already are. Pretty neat, right? And if you take one thing from this, just let it be this. Small habits done with consistency will change your life. That's it. I hope you have a great week. Let me know what you're doing in 2026 for your second act glow up. I'd love to hear from you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for tuning in to Live Your Best Midlife. If you enjoyed today's episode, please hit that follow button. And if you want to help more people discover my podcast, I'd be so grateful if you could take a moment to leave a rating and a review. Your feedback not only brightens my day, but it helps others to find my show. And if you're craving some more behind the scenes action, follow me on TikTok at Jill Lewis Living or on Instagram at Jill B. Lewis.